This man is brushing his teeth when suddenly the door beside him moves all by itself. He looks over confused and is shocked to see a pair of feet floating in midair. Yes, this man can actually see ghosts, and right then, the ghost girl notices that he's looking at her. The man gets nervous, quickly turning his head away and pretending not to see anything, but it's already too late. He panics, avoids eye contact, and tries to keep brushing his teeth, but the ghost girl refuses to give up and decides to test him further. She grins at him, knowing he can see her, and then suddenly starts spewing some strange black smoke from her mouth. At this point, the man just can't take it anymore and punches the ghost girl right in the face. She's stunned, quickly covers her mouth and begs him not to hit her again, while he warns her never to come here again. The ghost girl nods and promises, finally letting him brush his teeth in peace, and after bowing politely, she leaves. That's right, Feng Ba is a real exorcist who can beat up ghosts, and whenever he's short on money, he takes on jobs to get rid of them. Of course, Feng Ba is only good at handling little ghosts. If he ever runs into a powerful one, he has no choice but to run for his life. Still, his ghost-busting fees are anything but cheap. $1 million for every ghost, one punch, $1 million. This time, Feng Ba lands a huge job. Someone is paying $10 million to have a ghost cleared out of a girls' school, and Feng Ba can't say yes fast enough when he sees that kind of money. But what Feng Ba doesn't know is that the message for this job came from the school's computer room, and no one was sitting at the computer when the request was sent. Soon, Feng Ba sneaks up to the school gate and quietly slips inside, using her yin-yang eyes to quickly spot a ghost girl in one of the classrooms. But just as she tries to get a better look, the ghost disappears, only to reappear right behind her in the next instant, leaving Feng Ba completely flustered. As soon as she realizes what's happening, Feng Ba jumps into action, but the ghost girl is just as surprised and hurries to explain, "It's not me!" But Feng Ba isn't having it, and with one quick move, she flips the ghost girl onto her back. Now angry, the ghost girl decides to play dead. Feng Ba squats down to check if something's wrong, a bit suspicious, but the ghost girl suddenly spins around and pokes Feng Ba in the eyes. Feng Ba cries out in pain and jumps back, and now the furious ghost girl stops pretending and launches a full-on fight. The two battle fiercely, but pretty soon Feng Ba is outmatched, and the ghost girl grabs her head and chomps down. Helpless, Feng Ba has to run away, and as she's leaving, the ghost girl makes sure to mock her loudly in the school for everyone to hear. Of course, Feng Ba can't stand being humiliated like this. The next day, Feng Ba shows up at the school with a giant knife, yelling through the hallway for the ghost girl to come out. The ghost girl is in a terrible mood and decides to take it out on Feng Ba, so she steps out to face her head-on, waving at Feng Ba to come closer. Feng Ba charges at her in a rage, but the ghost girl just vanishes right before her eyes. As Feng Ba wonders where she went, the ghost girl pops up behind her and kicks Feng Ba down the hallway, then pounces on her. Scared, Feng Ba tries to shield her head, but the ghost girl again appears right behind her. Humiliated, Feng Ba tries to fight back, but she still gets overpowered and finally tackles the ghost girl, sending both of them tumbling down the stairs, and in that chaotic fall, they accidentally kiss. Shocked, Feng Ba jumps up, while a sudden memory of her death flashes in the ghost girl's mind. She touches her lips, stunned, and Feng Ba quickly tries to explain that it was an accident, but the ghost girl just stands there in a daze. Feng Ba then teases her, asking if she's never kissed anyone before. The ghost girl snaps out of her memory and, realizing Feng Ba hit the nail on the head, angrily kicks her. Feng Ba's scream of pain echoes throughout the school, and that scream just happens to wake up the school's real evil ghost. At the same time, two men are hiding in the girls' bathroom, live streaming with cameras set up everywhere. They're not peeping, but trying to prove ghosts are real. 7 people have died recently at this school, so for the sake of views, they snuck in overnight, and the chubby one even researched every death since the school was built. But they don't realize the ghost they're looking for is really there, and as they joke around, the ghost starts watching them. A chilling wind blows, and Shuzi senses something's wrong, looking up slowly. The two brothers are so terrified that they dash out of the bathroom. Shuzi glances back and sees the evil ghost chasing them, while at that very moment, Feng Ba, still fighting the ghost girl in the hallway, freezes when she sees the terrifying evil ghost behind them. She quickly runs with the two men into the elevator and frantically pushes the close button. The door finally shuts, but just as they're about to relax, a hand suddenly grabs Feng Ba. Startled, Shuzi smartly opens the door and the evil ghost stares straight at Feng Ba, grabbing her so tightly she can't breathe. On instinct, Feng Ba punches the ghost, who then starts twisting and reveals his true form, a pervert dressed as a woman. The pervert ghost then shifts his gaze to the ghost girl standing behind, and Feng Ba watches everything as she escapes. Outside, the two brothers realize the pervert ghost is actually the English teacher who died 18 years ago from falling while peeping on female students in the bathroom. Feng Ba hears this and quietly heads back inside. Sure enough, the pervert ghost has cornered the ghost girl, grabs her by the throat, and smashes her to the ground, pinning her helplessly. As he's about to do something terrible, Feng Ba bursts in, full of anger, but is immediately knocked down. So she quickly gets on her knees and begs the pervert ghost to let her go while the ghost girl tries to defend herself. The pervert ghost hesitates, distracted by their pleas, and Feng Ba rushed in with a kick, but still failed. Just as Feng Ba was in danger, the ghost girl knew it was time to act, so together, the two of them finally defeat defeated the perverted ghost. Afterward, Feng Ba finally realized it was the ghost girl who had spent 10 million to hire him to get rid of the perverted ghost, but ghosts don't have money, so unable to get his reward, Feng Ba left in frustration, while the ghost girl remembered that ever since kissing Feng Ba, she had recovered some memories from before her death. So, always wanting to figure out her own past, the ghost girl came to find Feng Ba again the next day. Feng Ba was still annoyed, but the ghost girl ignored him and just floated up into the air. Meanwhile, in a hotel, a man was sleeping when suddenly the wardrobe across from his bed moved and a creepy hand slowly stretched out. The next second, a ghost crept out. The sleeping man didn't notice, so the ghost girl leaned close to his ear and blew air at him. Only then did the man finally wake up uncomfortably, and the scene in front of him scared him out of his wits. The next day, after hearing someone had died in the hotel, the other guests quickly left, and the hotel owner helplessly called a monk to exorcise ghosts. But this monk was too old and weak. Just as he was about to start, a strange force pulled him inside. Suddenly, the hotel was filled with the monk's screams, so he hurriedly told the owner to find someone else. The next day, the exorcist Feng Ba arrived, and beside him was the ghost girl. Because she accidentally kissed Feng Ba before, she recovered some memories from before her death, and wanting to uncover her own identity, the ghost girl started clinging to Feng Ba every day, hoping to kiss him again and try to recover more, but Feng Ba refused, so the ghost girl stuck to him everywhere he went, even on exorcisms. After the scared owner pointed out the room where things had happened, Feng Ba braced himself and went inside. As soon as he entered, he turned on the light, but it started to flicker, and he suspiciously looked at the wardrobe, slowly walking up to it. After examining it for a while, he decided to open it, but found nothing inside. While Feng Ba was puzzled, something unexpected happened. He was pulled into the wardrobe, and before he could recover, a sound came from beside him. Feng Ba looked at the ghost girl, and suddenly a memory surfaced. The ghost girl had been beaten to death by domestic violence before she died. Feng Ba wanted to investigate more, but a scream interrupted him. He quickly rushed out of the wardrobe and saw that the abuser, now an evil ghost, had grabbed the ghost girl who'd come with him. Feng Ba didn't hesitate and charged straight at the domestic violence ghost, but he was no match and was soon lifted into the air and beaten up. The ghost girl, seeing this, couldn't stand it anymore, so she stepped in to rescue Feng Ba, and together they quickly subdued the evil ghost. Finally, the ghost girl discovered the evil ghost's weakness and told Feng Ba, who seized the chance and punched the evil ghost, destroying him. The other ghost girl, seeing her abuser turn to dust, bowed in thanks and could finally rest in peace. Because of this exorcism, Feng Ba and the ghost girl became closer. Then, Feng Ba curiously asked the ghost girl why she kept following him, and he thought she might like him. The ghost girl became shy and speechless, so Feng Ba understood and took the initiative to kiss her. But just as they started flirting, another woman got into trouble. This woman was putting on makeup, but not to go out. She was about to end her life. She was a top celebrity, but her phone was full of cruel cyberbullying comments. She numbly picked up her phone and walked to the living room. After glancing at her phone one last time, she turned on the camera and ended her life by hanging herself, and soon her suicide was trending in the news. Meanwhile, her #1 internet hater's house suddenly lost power. The hater, an uncle, was confused and had no idea what was going on. Suddenly, his phone rang. Hesitantly, he picked it up and found a video of the celebrities hanging. Shocked, he quickly threw the phone away, and before he could recover, his TV started playing the celebrity's music video by itself. Terrified, the hater panicked, and the ghost under his bed came out and killed him. The next day, Shuzi, whose account had been stolen by the hater, tracked him down, planning to confront him. But when he walked in, he saw the hater already dead and bleeding from every orifice. The two, who had planned to scold the hater, were so scared they almost wet themselves. The police quickly arrived, took Shuzi and his friend in for questioning, and began to analyze the case. Something strange appeared. The 3 most recent deaths were all the people who had posted the most online abuse toward the celebrity, and each had a broken index finger. To crack the case, the police focused on the 4th most abusive account, but it turned out to be Shuzi's, which surprised everyone. Shuzi quickly explained his account had been hacked by the hater, who used it to target the celebrity, so the police cleared him of suspicion and let him go home. But Shuzi couldn't relax, so he got ready with a crucifix and hid. But the celebrity ghost didn't care about those things. She came to Shuzi's phone through the internet cable, and the suicide video appeared again, scaring him into dropping the phone and running, but the music video started playing again. Shuzi barely made it out of his room, but it was too late. The celebrity ghost was right in front of him. He backed into his room, holding the door shut as tightly as he could, but it didn't help. The ghost glared at him fiercely, and he fainted. The celebrity ghost mercilessly grabbed his hand, ready to break his finger, but just then, the ghost girl who'd been with Feng Ba arrived and stopped her, kicking the celebrity ghost hard and telling her not to keep killing people, that no matter how many she killed, it would be useless. But the celebrity ghost wouldn't listen and immediately attacked the ghost girl, knocking her away. Seeing she still wouldn't repent, the ghost girl pinned the celebrity ghost down and told her, "You're the one who doesn't love yourself." This hit the celebrity ghost's heart, but she still didn't want to admit it, and broke free, about to fight back. At the critical moment, the exorcist Feng Ba arrived, kicking the celebrity ghost away in one swift move. The celebrity ghost struggled to get up, but then she caught sight sight of her wretched self in the mirror and remembered the ghost girl's words, "If you don't even cherish yourself, who else will?" and finally broke down inside. With her heart finally unburdened, the celebrity ghost decided to move on to her next life. Next, a woman was bathing in a public bathhouse, unaware that ghostly footprints had suddenly appeared and were getting closer and closer to her. The water suddenly stopped running, so the woman looked up at the shower head, fiddled with the switch, but still no water came out, only for a pair of hands to creep up on her feet. She looked down, puzzled, only to be startled by a lecherous ghost. The next day, two penniless brothers found this same bathhouse because they could spend the night there for half price. As soon as they entered, Shuzi marveled at how nice the place was, despite its lack of business. But Xiaopang quickly hushed him, saying it was pretty comfortable. They were about to learn the real reason for the empty bathhouse. That night, Shuzi, dozing in the sauna, was woken up by the heat and, opening his bleary eyes, saw something he never should have. He screamed and tried to run away, only for the pervy ghost to start playing games with him. Outside, Xiaopang heard the commotion, opened the door, and saved Shuzi. They later learned that someone had died there a month ago, and everyone knew the place was haunted, but since they were broke, the two saw a business opportunity. So they hired the exorcist Feng Ba, whose price for dealing with a ghost was 1 million, and negotiated with the bathhouse owner for 4 million, offering Feng Ba 3.5. Feng Ba, thrilled at the price, agreed instantly. The two had basically become ghost-busting brokers. The three soon got to work, but after searching everywhere, Feng Ba still couldn't find the ghost. Turns out, the pervy ghost had set his sights on the ghost girl who was with Feng Ba. Seeing her drunk, the pervy ghost reached his filthy hands toward her, and when she opened her blurry eyes, he was already there. She screamed, and Feng Ba rushed over. Realizing it was a pervy ghost, Feng Ba went into attack, but the ghost blinked and appeared beside the ghost girl, picking her up in an instant. Feng Ba tried to help, but the pervy ghost knocked him out with a punch, clamped his head, and flipped him hard. The drunken ghost girl tried to help with a sliding kick, but the pervy ghost caught her easily. She panicked as the pervy ghost spun her around and tried to kiss her, so she spat in disgust, making the ghost recoil and toss her aside. In the next second, the pervy ghost grabbed Feng Ba. Just then, the ghost girl noticed the ghost's weakness and quickly told Feng Ba, who immediately kicked the pervy ghost away. In a park no one had ever seen so spooky, the swings began to move by themselves in the dead of night. The seesaw rocked, and strange sounds echoed. The sound drifted into an apartment building, and a child's scream followed. A man, awakened by the noise from the next room, stomped over and angrily banged on the door, kicking it open in a rage. But when he stepped in, the room was empty, and the door closed behind him on its own. The man, now a bit scared but pretending to be brave, walked in to investigate and, glancing to the side, suddenly saw a ghostly child. Terrified, he ran for his life. The next day, Feng Ba's team got a call for an exorcism, and upon arriving, Feng Ba saw a strange woman, but quickly moved on to check the haunted room. Nothing was there, just like before. After searching, Feng Ba walked into a room covered in creepy drawings, when a strange sound came from the cabinet. It was the ghost girl with Feng Ba, who popped out to mock him, leaving him frustrated. As he prepared to leave, another weird laugh came from the cabinet, so Feng Ba opened it again and saw the child ghost escaping. He chased after and cornered the ghost, telling him to move on and stop disturbing everyone at night. But the ghost glanced to the side and bit Feng Ba's hand, escaping again. In pain, Feng Ba noticed some strange black smoke nearby, so he and the ghost girl went over, and when the moment was right, he punched, only to discover he'd hit an ally. Back home, Feng Ba looked up the room's history online. When he learned the truth, he was furious and shut the laptop, deciding to go back for the child ghost. It turned out the little ghost hadn't been playing, but was running away every night. He was being chased by his stepfather. One night, while the drunk stepfather was sleeping, the boy tried to watch TV, but as soon as he turned it on, the man woke up, grabbed the boy by the hair, dragged him into the room, and shut the door. There were the sounds of beating and the boy's pleas, until finally it went quiet, and the stepfather came out. Just as the mother returned home, rushed into the room but was too late. Now, as Feng Ba came to find the child ghost, he heard the boy's cries. Rushing to the haunted room, the door slammed shut and screams echoed. The stepfather's ghost was still tormenting the boy even after death. The little ghost cried helplessly, but the stepfather didn't stop. Feng Ba, unable to bear it, charged in and stopped the ghost, checked the boy, and reassured him everything was okay. The wicked stepfather started to act up again, but Feng Ba flipped him to the ground, and then Feng Ba quickly finished off the stepfather's ghost, and finally, the child's soul returned to normal. Then, together with the ghost girl, Feng Ba brought the child to see his mother one last time. The child was so happy to see his mom, and finally he could move on peacefully to his next life. The ghost girl felt so lucky. Whenever she met a handsome guy, she would just stick close to him, even breathing softly by his ear to make him shiver. After all this, she would get up decisively and go to church, secretly praying for the guy to die soon. The next day, to keep the guy from escaping, the ghost girl clung to him again, leaving him with nothing but an aching back. This went on until the ghost girl spotted another handsome man. Without hesitation, she leapt away and started following her new crush, not knowing that her happy ghost days were about to end because of this man. That night, she slipped into the new man's office, thinking to herself what great taste she had. But just as she was watching him with joy, he walked in and suddenly started talking to himself in a creepy way. Then he slowly turned and stared right at her, leaving leaving her totally confused. And before she could react, the man grabbed her by the neck and in an instant, she was gone, turned to dust because this man was possessed by an evil ghost, though he appeared to be a sunny, warm professor at school. To save a stray dog, the professor even ran onto the street barehanded and got bitten, but he didn't care and still held the scared dog tightly, earning him huge popularity among students. Secretly, though, to vent his anger, he caught a stray cat and strangled it with his bare hands, smiling with satisfaction when he was done, just as one student saw everything. Not wanting his image to be ruined, the professor ambushed the girl on her way home and, in her terrified eyes, reached out and broke her neck. But even this powerful evil ghost had something he was afraid of. The only thing that could kill him was the magic idol called Wuju. To get it, the professor killed 2 more people, but still didn't find it. It turned out one of the men he murdered sensed the danger and hid the idol with a passing little girl, which sadly put her in danger. The crazed professor later ran over the girl with his car at night, but to his frustration, the idol wasn't on her. The trail went cold and he gave up. 5 years later, by chance, he discovered the little girl was actually still alive, but in a coma at the hospital. Fearing that the idol might be used against him, the professor tried to end the girl's life by stopping her heartbeat, but a doctor on duty rushed in and started emergency treatment. To the professor's shock, the girl woke up after 5 years of coma. Realizing the threat, he changed his plan and decided to destroy the idol. After the girl was discharged, he kidnapped her. Under pressure, she finally realized it was the item she had hidden at the subway station before her accident that he was after. The girl had no choice but to lead the professor to the idol. As soon as he got it, he tried to kill her, but just then, a man barged in. It was Fengba, the exorcist, who was also the boyfriend the girl found after her soul left her body during her coma. Fengba even brought a grandmaster with him, and with their combined strength plus the idol, Fengba was finally able to destroy the evil ghost. In the end, Fengba and the girl lived a happy life, and Fengba decided to use his ghost-seeing powers to help even more people.